What is going on, guys? Fitcho here, and welcome back to the Fitcho Careers, episode number 10, round 5, race 2, and the weather has turned around yet again here in Austria. Yesterday, it was absolutely bucketing it down. It was full wet conditions, and today, it turned around, blue skies, and the sun is out. And speaking of yesterday's feature race, if you have not seen that race, I highly recommend checking it out. It was absolutely bonkers race, full wet conditions, crashes everywhere, drama all over the place. It was just it was a hectic race. It was really crazy. We're hoping for a bit more normal race because things didn't actually go to plan for us yesterday. Well, they sort of did. We had a bad qualifying, gone up through the field. We were fighting for a podium. We were trying to chase down the leader, Louis Delatraz, and then just a series of mistakes dropped us back down to outside the points. But I think yesterday proves that we do have pace around the Red Bull Ring here in Austria. So I think we do have a chance of getting points. I'm not sure we'll be able to contend for a win in full dry conditions if that's how the race will be. But I think we can get into the points. So 6th, 7th, 8th, and any points in this championship are very valuable. We are currently leading the championship, but only by 7 points at the moment. But we're going to jump into qualifying for today's sprint race at the Red Bull Ring. Here we go, one-shot qualifying in Austria for today's sprint race. We head down towards turn number 1, hard on the brakes, down to 3rd gear, take a little bit of curb on the entrance and the exit as we now head up the long, curvy straight towards turn number 2 as Gustav Mallier is leading. We're actually dead last. In 22nd place, we come up to turn number 2, the biggest stop on the track, the slowest corner, and a very tricky traction zone, but a very crucial one as it leads onto the DRS straight. We're up into 13th place, and Fawako is actually leading as we head down towards turn number 3, another slow corner, 2nd gear, almost hairpin-like corners. Now we head through turn 4, Sirotkin takes the lead as we come up to the first of the 2 left-handers on this track, and I have got my line a little bit wrong there. I turned in a bit too early as Charles Leclerc is now leading. I think Sirotkin and the 2 Primas Delatraz as well are fighting over the leads. We're currently in 13th place as we come down to the penultimate corner, a very tricky corner, 5th gear, and you have to be really committed and you've got to get the turn in just right, or otherwise you're screwed. The final corner you can really attack as we have a little bit of a slide again, but Leclerc, I should say, is going to take pole as we cross the line down in 15th place. So Charles Leclerc has taken pole here in Austria for the sprint race, and only just over Louis Delatraz. I thought that was going to be a Louis Delatraz pole yet again, but he just got beaten right at the end. I swear it was Louis Delatraz's ghost going across the line, but it was Charles Leclerc's name that popped up, and Charles Leclerc will be starting on the front row. Joining him, of course, is Louis Delatraz. On the second row of the grid are their teammates, Gustav Mallier in 3rd place, Antonio Fawako in 4th, and in 5th place is Sergei Sirotkin. And now we're going to have to actually scroll down to the second half of the field to find ourselves. Down in 15th place, we are right behind Nicholas Latifi and just in front of Jordan King. If you look a little bit lower, my teammate is actually going to be starting this race out of last place. So Sean Goliath really is not doing that well. He seems to always be at the back, and he's one of 3 drivers not to score any points yet. So all points for Trident in the team's championship has been from me. So the strategy for today's sprint race is a pretty easy one-stop, starting on the Ultra Softs, and about lap 7 we're going to pit for the Super Softs and then go to the end. Here we go, engage the clutch, get the revs up to optimal range, the lights are on, and it's lights out, and away we go. The sprint race here in Austria is underway as we get quite a lot of wheel spin. Offline, we still get, we're being spun, we're out already. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We don't even make it to turn 1 and we're put in the wall. Let's just have a look at this. We head up towards turn 1. We're minding our own business and we just get spun. I don't even know by who. That's... you've got to be kidding me. Like... Where's the replay camera? Here we go. Let's just minimize that as we head up towards turn 1. Matsushita, you... Oh, why? You're kidding me. Let's just have a look. Matsushita's point of view. They're going off the start. There's a little gap in between Latifi and myself, and then he just clips me. I'm in the wall and I'm gone. I'm out before turn 1. You've got to be kidding me. Like, oh, seriously? Like, oh man, that is ridiculous. Let's have a look from Latifi. You can see my wheel just come off. I had nowhere to go. Like, neither did Latifi. We're just minding our own business, heading up to turn 1, and Matsushita spins me across the nose of Latifi. It's just, oh, it's great driving, Nobuharu Matsushita. Brilliant fucking driving. Top notch. Let's just watch this masterclass of driving. How to pit someone on a straight. How to take someone out. It's beautiful. There you go. If you want to know how to take someone out in F1, you do that. You get behind them on a straight, you just get slightly side by side, and then you just swipe across them, spin them into the wall, and they're done for. They're gone. Oh, you know, it happens. I had no chance of literally surviving that. I did nothing wrong, and I had no chance of surviving. My wheel is dead straight as we're heading up towards turn 1. I'm just going in a straight line towards the first corner. I know there's a car to my right, so I'm not moving across. I'm leaving him space, but Matsushita just wants to turn me around, and then, you know, we go into the wall. There's nothing we could really do. And because I had a Latifi over there, he hits me as well. He's done nothing wrong either. And that rips my wheel off, and I'm out of this race. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Let's just have another look at this. This is just beautiful driving from Matsushita. You see, he's directly behind me here. There's a big gap in between me and Latifi. You could probably fit almost 2 cars. Maybe not quite 2 cars in there. He pulls into that gap, almost hits Latifi, and then swerves away from Latifi and clips me. That is just quality driving. And then he also hits, I think that is Sergio Setakamara, and goes into the wall, and it looks like the game has just stopped there. But it looks like he's on course to T-bone I think that's the ART of probably Alexander Albon or Sergei Sorokin. That's just unbelievable. Like, you're kidding me. Matsushita, look at him. You can see him turning into me. You can just look at his wheel. Turns into me. Bang, I'm gone. Nothing I can do. Just absolutely nothing. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Retire from the session. I've got absolutely no choice. Well, that's our race over. So Nicholas Latifi has won the sprint race here in Austria. Despite being involved in that collision at the start of the race, he managed to make an alternate strategy work, swapping to the softs when he fixed his front wing, and getting to the end and fighting so hard at the end to hold on to that position to lead home a Dams 1-2 with Oliver Rowland, his teammate, finishing right on his gearbox, only 3/10 behind him. Joining the Dams drivers on the podium was Luca Giotto, only half a second off the win. Just off the podium is Artem Markelov in 4th place. 5th place is Raffaele Marcello. Charles Leclerc, the pole sitter, actually dropped to 6th place as he tried to make a 2-stop strategy work. And Louis Delatraz fell for the same trap, who joined Charles Leclerc on the front row. He actually finished the race in the last point-spanning position, and those two were split by Antonio Giovinazzi, who finished in 7th place, who did the 1-stop strategy. Just outside of the points, only one place outside the points, was Emil Bernstorff, so close to getting his first points of the season, but it was not to be today in Austria, and Sergei Sorokin rounds out the top 10. If we look in the bottom half of the field, Nobuharu Matsushita finished 11th place. The guy who took us out at the start, he went for the same strategy as Nicholas Latifi, but he also had a penalty, so that dropped him back a little bit. Just behind Matsushita was Sergio Setakamara in 12th place. Norman Nato, another one of the 2-stoppers, finished down in 13th place. Jordan King finished 14th, with Igor Arudzev finishing 15th. Sean Galisle finished 16th and was the last of the finishers, as myself, Gustav Melia, Antonio Fuoco, Felix Morales, Nick de Vries, and Alexander Albon all did not finish the race. So, as you would have seen, there was another 5 cars that actually DNF'd this sprint race here in Austria, and this is the first of the two major collisions. They're riding on board with Nick de Vries, and he's trying to pass Alexander Albon, but he just tags the rear, and they go smack into the tyre barrier. And the worst part is, Nick de Vries actually came back across the track and collected Felix Sorrells. We're going to actually swap on board to Alexander Albon. You see, he's coming through up the straight towards turn 2. He's right on the back of Luca Giotto, and then he just gets tagged and goes smack into the wall. Nothing Albon could actually do about that, and it just ripped his front left suspension off, understandably. You can see that was a huge incident, very similar in some ways to mine with Matsushita, with just two cars making contact in a straight line, where the car behind is just sort of, touched up the rear of the car in front and sent them flying into a wall. We'll just have another look at it from this TV camera. You can see he just pits Alexander Albon, and they go bang off into the wall. You can see he comes back on, and he gets Felix Sorrells in the Carlin. We're going to swap on board with Felix Sorrells now as we head up straight. You can see the two cars go off in front of him, and then you can see de Vries just comes back on, and Sorrells just really has nowhere to go. Absolutely nothing Sorrells could have done about that crash. And now for the second of the two major collisions, barring, of course, my one at the very start. And this one is the very next lap. It's between Antonio Fuoco and Gustav Malloy. You can see, again, it's the exact same thing. A bit of a pit down the straight. We'll just rewind it again. You can see Fuoco, he's right on the back of Gustav Malloy, is heading up towards turn number 2. He looks to the inside, but there's no space. His front wing is just clipping the rear wing. Same to pretty much every incident we've seen so far, and into the wall. And both Gustav Malloy and Antonio Fuoco out of the race, just like that. We're going to ride on board now with Gustav Malloy. You can see in the mirror, Fuoco pulls out and just tags him. There's nothing Gustav Malloy could do to avoid that incident. There you can see the stricken Prima sliding up the track. But another very big incident. Watch from these replay cameras. You can see they're heading up, a bit of contact, and they're both out of the race, just like that, on the run up to turn 2. And this happened one lap after the previous incident with on this straight with Nick de Vries and Alexander Albon. Oliver Rowland actually got a great view of this crash. You can see he's right on the gearbox of Antonio Fuoco as they head up towards turn 2, and you can see what happened exactly. Fuoco has just turned Gustav Malloy around, both into the wall and out of the race. So after today's sprint race, despite not making it to turn 1, my race only lasting 8 seconds, I still lead the championship. However, my advantage has been cut down slightly, and my nearest rival has changed as Raffaele Marcello has jumped Norman Nato for second place, but there's only 1 point separating the duo. 7 points behind Norman Nato is Oliver Rowland in 4th place, who has a 10-point lead over Luca Giotto in 5th place. 1 point behind Luca Giotto is Antonio Giovinazzi in 6th, and then 11 points back is the Prima duo with Antonio Fuoco in 7th, only 2 points in front of his teammate Charles Leclerc in 8th place. In 9th place is Nicholas Latifi on 47 points, and Sergei Sorokin rounds out the top 10 on 45 points. In the team's championship, things are tightening up at the top. Campos still lead, however their advantage has been cut down to only 4 points as Dams had a brilliant 1-2 finish in today's sprint race. In 3rd place is Prima Racing with Russian Time in 4th, and Trident has slipped down to 5th after not scoring any points at all this weekend in Austria in either the feature race or the sprint race. In 6th place is MP Motorsport, who are only 2 points out of Rapax in 7th. We're only 5 points out of ART Grand Prix down in 8th. Racing Engineering on 9th, 10 points behind ART. Then Carlin and Arden round out the field with Carlin on 4 points and Arden on 1 point. Well, that race definitely didn't go to plan. Didn't even make it to turn 1 and only lasted 8 seconds. Not how we wanted this race to go, and it was not at all our own fault. Matsushita just turned us around on the straight. Into the wall we went, and we were gone. Nothing we could really do to avoid that. Kind of disappointing way to end the weekend here in Austria, but I'm pretty sure next time out in Silverstone we can definitely bounce back. I really like the Silverstone circuit, and I think we could be on for a pretty strong result in Silverstone, hopefully try and extend our championship lead. But that is all for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Thank you ever so much for watching. I've been Fitcho, and I'll see you all next time.